Disaster risk reduction, social inclusion, and effective media. At first glance, it may be unclear how these three elements relate, but for us, in the Division of Social Policy and Development in the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, the interlink among them is clear. I am Daniela Bas, Director of the Division for Social Policy and Development, DSPD, and I'm happy to be able to share this message with you on all-inclusive disaster risk reduction. In DSPD, we promote and support the development of cohesive and coherent policy frameworks for driving social inclusion in a healthy and sustainable social and economic environment. Our work takes a particular focus on the effective inclusion of key social groups who have often been left behind in the development and implementation of development policies, including older persons, youth, indigenous peoples, and persons with disabilities. In light of the changing climate and the increased hazards that have and can result, ensuring effective and inclusive disaster risk reduction, planning and programming has become an important element of our work, particularly in relation to persons with disabilities, older persons, and indigenous peoples. You see, in Sendai in 2015, under the mantra, "Inclusion saves lives," we succeeded in raising awareness among policymakers on the importance of working with and for vulnerable social groups to reduce their burden of loss during hazardous conditions. And the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction declares the importance of working with all stakeholders in the design and implementation of policies, plans, and standards, including indigenous peoples, older persons, persons with disabilities, youth, migrants, and people living in poverty. To reach these groups and to help build their resilience and reduce their vulnerability, the role of media is undeniable. To understand the role, we all have to first accept an often overlooked truth. Disasters are not natural. Hazards are. How disastrous a natural hazard turns out to be depends on preparedness, prevention, and mitigation mechanisms. By making preparatory knowledge and emergency information available in accessible formats, and by ensuring that the perspectives of all groups are effectively accounted for in messaging, the media can help to save lives. But even before the knowledge-sharing role, the media can help to drive inclusive policy change, because we know that disasters can be mitigated and sometimes even avoided. And media can help us to understand why they happen and why they happen in the ways they do. Why are women and children more likely to die than men during a disaster? Why are persons with disabilities more likely to be injured or killed? Are these unfortunate facts a result of infrastructural barriers that affect evacuation? Are they about cultural preferences and/or attitudes that put these groups at a disadvantage? Is it because the existing emergency plans have not accommodated for their specific needs? Is it because the information is not reaching them through lack of accessibility in the media used, language, or tone? Through this effective investigative reporting, media can help communities to uncover the answers to these questions and place disaster risk reduction in the public consciousness. The media can also help to bring knowledge to the disaster risk reduction conversation they may not otherwise be included, by listening to communities and what they have to say, by tapping the knowledge of indigenous communities that are often not considered in academic policy and public discourse, by supporting the voices of those who are voiceless. Media can change the shape of disaster preparedness. I will leave you with this broad reminder. In many societies, Media and public opinion feed off of each other. As media practitioners, I admonish you to take the lead in shaping the attitude and approach to disaster risk reduction. Use your voice and your power to promote inclusion, shape prevention, and reduce risks. And for this, I thank you.